I thought I'd sit and record a follow-up to last week's video about the CMS and me finally being free of that hateful organisation and my ex-wife, because the universal support I received from that video and the comments that you guys left, all very kind. They made a really difficult situation actually quite pleasant. When you open yourself up on YouTube, and that's something I've wrestled with for a little while actually, because starting out as just a beer review channel with Wanda, I never actually mentioned my own name for many videos, and how much you give away of yourself and how personally deep you go is something that I thought about for a long time. Obviously, when you're just doing beer and things like that, it's turn the camera on, you talk about the beer and you stop. When you start doing other things, it's a question of how deep do you dive into your own personal, and how I know people that portray a character. I could never do that. I was always very honest about who I am, how I've dealt with things. And I say that I've been honest because I probably haven't. I've not dealt with stuff particularly well on YouTube. I've got into all sorts of different arguments, and sort of, if someone's had a go at me, I've always felt the need to have a go back, and it's probably not helped me with certain situations that have come about. And for people to actually leave comment, and when you open yourself up and you talk about things like the child maintenance service and the effect that has on you personally, and the effect that has on you and your family, you talk about men's mental health, which is still very much a taboo subject in 2025, amazingly, but hopefully try and bring some normality to talking about mental health and the fact that it is okay to talk. It is okay to say, do you know what, I'm not okay, and these are the reasons why I'm not okay. Divorce had a huge effect on my life, and probably I didn't understand how big that effect was, and if I'm honest, I probably still don't. And it wasn't just the divorce, it was the fallout of not seeing my son, the fallout of, we lived in the same house and we'd communicate via solicitors' letters, because they were trying to, every solicitor's letter would cost money, so they were trying to sort of bludgeon me of money. They used my son as the ultimate weapon, and it took me a long time. So I've been honest about the fact that my phone, whenever my phone dinged, it'd be a letter from my solicitor, and it was just ridiculous things, and you'd go backwards and forwards, costing thousands. And the one thing I have learned is solicitors' letters mean nothing. If you're trying to communicate via a solicitor's letter, which is, I don't know how much it's going to cost you, say 50 quid, don't bother. If you're intimidated by a solicitor's letter, throw it away. Because they don't, in my case, it was all trivial. It didn't mean anything. Boilers broken, shit like that. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter. But in my mind, everything was a battle, and it had been a battle for years. And I didn't understand. So if I got embroiled in so much negativity on YouTube, and it was one of the reasons Wanda ultimately stepped away from the channel. She didn't like the negativity, she didn't like the stuff that was going on, and who can blame her? And I'm taking my own responsibility in a lot of that. I was getting involved in stuff I should have just passed off as didn't really matter. It didn't matter in the great scheme of things. And it's only when you take a step back and you look at yourself and you think, do you know what, I could have done things differently. I bang on about Andy's Man Club, and I will keep banging on about Andy's Man Club, because it's done so much good, I think, for me personally. It's allowed me to vent, because that's not fair on Wanda a lot of the time, and the girls and my friends. And another thing, when you ask a friend if they're okay, and you got your good friends, and a lot of the time they don't want to hear that you're suffering. So, and you don't want to burden your friends with your suffering, but they probably do want to help. But they ask you if you're okay, and your instinct is, do I really tell them I'm struggling? My answer to that is yes, you do. If they ask, are you okay, and you're not okay, then tell them you're not okay. And they'll probably be like, well, I knew that. How can I help you? If they're any friend, they will do that. But Andy's Man Club has helped me enormously. I like to think I deal with things better. I said last night, 2 years ago, 18 months ago, I was probably a different person than I am now. I like to think I deal with things slightly better. I think I can appreciate now when arguments with Wanda. I drag arguments on for days with Wanda. Absolutely days. And for no reason. Just to punish her, really, because I didn't know how to deal and move on with these things. Now, I shut it down quickly. Let's move on. More important things in life. The child maintenance service. You know what? Of all the emotions I've had this week, I'm a survivor. 1,000 people a year don't survive their interaction with the child maintenance service. It's criminal. It's criminal that a government arm is being allowed to take people's lives, whether they deny it or not. The stress that these people put on people by arrears, their intransient ways of doing things, their draconian ways of doing it, their systems, and the people that are at the end of the phone that just don't care. They don't care. All they want is the money. They're a money collection agency. To be free of that and to have survived that in itself, and still be here today to be able to talk to you and bang that drum, and I'm going to keep banging that drum. I'm going to keep helping the people at Stop Suicide, the people like Gavin Briggs and Ian Briggs, his dad, that fight every day for justice for people that have taken their lives because they can see no way forward, and it's so sad. And again, if you'd have told me 2 years ago I'd be making videos like this, I'd call you mental. In the right way, you're mental, because I just didn't believe any of this to be true. But thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody. I was blown away by the very kind comments. I just wanted to be a dad. I wanted to be a dad. I wanted to be left alone to be a dad. And this deadbeat dad, this has to stop. You know, there are dads out there that give good dads a really bad name, and that has to stop. We can't all be tarnished with the same brush. It's not fair. I just wanted to be a dad. Yes, I quibble paying the money because I don't believe I should be paying for somebody that is breaking court orders. I think that's intrinsically wrong, and it destroys people. People are being put into debt and poverty when it's not right, especially where things are being done, like Gingerbread are giving out advice how to get more money out of people. And I'm very aware this doesn't affect just dads, but I think it's 94% of people embroiled within the child maintenance service are non-resident parents side are male. Fact. But I wanted to say thank you. I wanted to say thank you for everybody that left a kind word. It's done quite well for the channel. You know, I've never been bothered about views and stuff like that, but thank you ever so much for the kind comments. They blew me away, and I just want to see my son, you know, and that's the long and short of it. And to sit here almost a week later in the sunshine thinking my mental health's probably better than it's been for years. I deal with things better. Wonder is a huge part of that, and it's just nice. It's nice to actually have that, and the worry of money each month taken away a little bit. So thank you to everybody that's sent a nice card. I am going to do nice comment, not nice card. I'm going to do the question card in this video because I like doing the question card. If you haven't seen the question card on the channel, every week at Andy's Man Club, 3 main questions. How's your week been? A positive from the week, and anything to get off your chest. And I'm a very proud facilitator at Andy's Man Club. But then you get two questions at the end from head office that are designed, if the session's been quite deep, these are designed to hopefully lift people up and send them on a way with a bit more positivity about them. And what I do is this deck of playing cards so they're all normal cards, but they have a question on it. And I pick the question from random each week, and we sit and answer it together. This one is this week's. What lesson has life taught you recently, and how will you move forward? So my question is, same to you. What's life taught you recently? My life has taught me recently that no matter how hard things are, there's always a way forward. I've learned that my mental health is important. I've learned that I can move on quicker. I've learned that I haven't got to drag things on for days. It's really important that the mental health and things that you just got to try and do things slightly differently to give you a slightly more peaceful mind. A peaceful mind makes your life better. Sat in the sunshine. I've learned that talking about things is okay, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all. So what was the question? Put it away. What lesson has life taught you recently, and how will you move forward? My life's taught me I'm still here, still fighting, and I'm happier than I've probably been for a very long time. Thank you ever so much for watching. The support's been wonderful, and I can't thank you guys enough. Have a great week. It really is okay to talk. Andy's Man Club, Monday 7 till 9 p.m. nationally, andysmanclub.co.uk. If you can't do that, you can email them and they will send you out a link, because there's an online service as well if there's not one near you. So take it up, and if you know somebody that is struggling, please reach out to them and tell them that you're there to listen, and it's okay to talk. Have a good week.